Maybe you should pull the fucking trigger.
Pull the trigger. Ain't nobody gonna do for you.
What's going on, guys? You're back watching this. You're here for another session on the Forex basics. Today I'm going to be going over candlesticks, which is all those little things you see on the graph. They're actually referred to as candlesticks because they kind of look like a candlestick. You have the body and then you have the wick. But I'm going to give you a visual representation so that you have something to look at while I'm going over this. So let me just share my screen real quick. And we'll go here. Perfect. So with candlesticks, you have bullish candlesticks, which are usually green or blue. And then you have bearish candlesticks, which are usually red or yellow. You can obviously change the color, but I like to stick with green because green means good and red means bad or going down. So with a candlestick, it shows where the market opens, where it closed, how high the market got to before the candle closed, and how low the market got to before that same candle closed. So the body represents, the average area, just the open and close. So if you have a bullish candlestick, it's going to open at the bottom somewhere. The market's going to range up and down to a high point and a low point. And depending on what time frame you're in, the market's going to close in that time frame. And if it's a bullish candle, like we said, it's going to close above the open, making it a bullish candle. Now for bearish, we have the opposite. The market's going to open at a high point. It's going to vary to different high points, different low points, but it's eventually going to close below the open within the time frames. Now these time frames that I'm talking about, you can look at different markets in different time frames. So I can look at a market on the H1, which means every candlestick represents 1 hour. So within that candlestick move, that was 1 hour of real time. Now, you can go to shorter time frames where if I was looking at a 30-minute graph, that would mean two 30-minute candlesticks combined together would make 1 hourly candlestick. So if you break it down all the way to the micro level, this hourly candlestick is made up of 61-minute candlesticks. And I can actually show you on the graph a bit, which I don't mind doing whatsoever. Sorry, I just have some stuff up here. Boom, perfect. So if we look at this graph, this is on a 1-day candlestick chart. So which means every candlestick represents 1 day. So this candlestick opened down here. It went to a high point of about here, went to a low point all the way down here, creating this little wick, as we call them, or shadows, and then it closed above the open, creating 1 day of market movement. Now, if I go to an hourly time frame, that would mean every candle represents 1 hour. So here we have, these bearish candles. So you can see it opened here, it had some movement, created a high, it created a low, and then it closed below the open. Now see, the next point that the next candle has to open at is the previous close of the other candles. So you can see this one opened at the same close, created some movement within that hour, which is 60-minute candles, and then closed down here. Now I'm going to show you something pretty cool in just 1 second. So if we go all the way to the right, let's just look at these candles for a second. I'm just going to highlight this one candle right there. So if I'm on the hourly time frame, if I go to, let's say, a 30-minute time frame, and I just highlighted that candle, that would mean that these two candles combined together, these two right here, these red and green ones combined together create that hourly time frame. And it's just multiple candles within different ones creating higher time frames. So overall, it's a pretty easy concept to understand. And I hope all of you are grasping, the main knowledge of the basics, because at the end of the day, the basics is what you're going to want to learn. And if you stick to the basics with any, technical analysis or really anything, as long as you have a solid foundation, it's easy to build from there and get more advanced with practice and learning different techniques. But that's candlesticks for you guys. See you in the next video.